Guess what, guys? It's happening again. A biological male went into the women's locker room at a Gold's Gym here in my city of Los Angeles, but he wasn't expecting to be confronted by an actual woman. Well, now that woman has gotten her membership from Gold's Gym revoked. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about Tish Hyman. Now, she is a woman who decided to confront a trans woman, aka a biological man, who decided to go into her women's locker room at Gold's Gym here in Los Angeles. Now, I'm going to show you a video because we actually have footage of this confrontation. Now, let's see what we can see.
How are you?
Did you tell me or not that women like to see?
Asking you question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No.
You heard what she just said. She said, did you tell me or not that women like to see the D word? You guys know what she said. Let's watch.
Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room.
Now she's saying now he knows how to be a man. Now he knows how to be a man because all of a sudden he's, perking up and saying, get out of my face with a whole ass man voice. Guys, this is what's happening. Okay. When we say trans people in sports here or in the locker room here, or we have this entire bathroom debate, this is what it turns into: actual real life confrontation and sometimes lack thereof when grown ass biological men are finding themselves in women's spaces, in very vulnerable women's spaces like that of a locker room at a Gold's Gym. This is where women and girls are changing, mind you. So they're going to be naked. He presumably is going to be exposing himself to these individuals, although I cannot speak to this particular occasion, although we do hear her say, did you or did you not say that women like to see D word? Okay. So if he actually said that with his full chest, said that to her, think about the implications of that. Think about who this individual is if they're willing to say that to a woman. Think about the other people who could be in this women's locker room at this Gold's Gym, and think about what they're experiencing with him in their vicinity. Let's keep watching.
We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
Yeah, and there you go. He just struts, shall I say, right back into the women's locker room. Now you hear him say, last time this happened, as in this has happened before, he's found himself in the women's locker room before. And I wonder for what reason, given that we hear a certain account of what he said to this woman. And she took a video of me, is what he claims. So then the gym employee goes, you know what, then both of you are out of here. Then both of you are getting your memberships revoked. And it does seem as though this woman has had her Gold's Gym membership revoked. So just think about that. Just let's work through the concept. Let's put that Cynthia Erivo meme right here. Let's think about that. A woman being in a women's locker room and a man comes in. He says these words to her, at least according to her account. He's been there previously. You have other women and young girls in the vicinity of a grown ass man in the women's locker room, and she's getting her membership revoked from Gold's Gym. This is 2025, guys. And I thought for a moment, like we were slowly getting on the other end of this. We're seeing graphs that like young Gen Z members are trending down when it comes to trans identification. We're seeing a lot of support for women who are speaking out on these issues, and Tish is getting a lot of support. But yet still in this very day, we have women experiencing this in their communities, in their gym, a place where you should feel safe, a place where you should feel comfortable. There are grown men in your locker rooms. Now, she decided to take this even further. She went out in this Gold's Gym and, started raising her voice about what just happened and what she just experienced. Let's watch.
Gold's Gym! Men! Grown men with big dicks in the women's locker room! And that's why I'm getting kicked out, and I want to make sure the girls know. Everybody saw that man in the locker room. No one saying shit, and I'm done with it.
This woman is a superhero. I gotta say, this woman is a superhero. Not only is she strong as you can just see and looking at her. But you know what? She's not going to take it lying down. She's standing up and saying, you know what? I know we're living in clown world right now, and we have a bunch of women walking into this locker room and not saying anything. And mind you, this is not to blame those women because they're in a locker room with a grown-ass man. What are they supposed to do? This is how women become victims. But she's going to stand up and she's going to say something. And she goes, you know what? If you're going to revoke my gym membership, I'm going to say it to everybody here at this gym. Doesn't matter if they agree with me or not. I want to alert everybody in this general vicinity. I want to let everybody know that they are letting men with their D's out, okay, into the women's locker room. This is what needs to happen sometimes. And I know in a lot of ways, we women are nurturers, we're caretakers, we're very demure, we're very meek, okay? But if a man is in our place, you know, in a place where we're supposed to feel safe, in a place where we're undressing, maybe we say something, maybe we do make a scene like this. Let's keep watching.
It's stupid. It's dangerous. Me naked in front of a man without my permission. But I'm the one who gets kicked out the gym, y'all. I'm terminated for not wanting men in the locker room.
And it kind of feels weird because like she's going to be seen by many of these people as the crazy one, especially in the city of Los Angeles, because we all know how LA is. And I know as a resident of LA, she's going to be seen as like this crazy psycho who's going off in the middle of the gym. But you have to feel insane. Like, this is gaslighting that you have a man in your locker room and you have to go and stand in the middle of your gym and just scream to everybody and nobody's listening. Everybody's just looking over you, that you're literally being made into a victim by the gym policy, by the people who are running this establishment, and by the man who decides to go in the women's space. But she doesn't stop there, okay? She makes a video detailing her account and talking about this because you have to keep going. This cannot continue to happen. And you can tell that she's a very strong woman. You know, you can tell that she's willing to stand up for the other women who are around her. And there's not going to be women who are willing to do this. And that's where you create more victims and people that don't feel comfortable speaking up because, you know, it's very difficult in the city of LA to speak up. It's very difficult in any place to speak up. It's very difficult because you're confronting a man in these situations. And she decides, you know what? I'm going to keep talking about this. And before we get all upset at her and call her transphobic or a TERF or anything like that, guess what? She's also a member of the LGBTQ plus community. She's a lesbian. So before we play the whole identity politics angle of this and the intersectionality angle, you have, I guess, a black woman who's a lesbian. So she's hitting all the marks, I guess, for the victim categories in the oppression Olympics, and she's still speaking up.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America.
And it is.
We're like, trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it.
And pause. So we can substantiate her claim that this is happening all over the United States of America. We've had accounts of this happening at, I think, a YMCA in Ohio. Here in LA, we had this happen at a place called We Spa, where a woman made a scene about this. We've had this happen at Planet Fitnesses. Now you have Gold's Gym. And I'm sure the list goes on and on and on, the different places where women have experienced things like this.
And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a how women feel? Today I was naked in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck?
Yeah, you can file an incident report with the police. 911? 911.
What is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a about how women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom?
And this is going to be the wake-up call. I think it's going to be the wake-up call for so many, that you don't have to be in complete opposition, in full force opposition of everything that these individuals stand for, of all of leftist politics, of all of the stuff that's happening right now in the realm of identity. You don't have to be at full force against that to say, you know what, a grown man should not be in the women's locker room. Young girls should not experience this. Grown women should not experience this. And you know what, if this individual does not feel comfortable with their genitalia, with their biology, with their current identity, maybe they need to find a new space to be able to explore that does not involve the victimization of women and girls. Period. Okay. And you can be lesbian, gay, you could even be trans, as we're seeing, and understand that. So we need to start drawing a line in the sand that this is just unacceptable. It doesn't matter. It's unacceptable. And I think the more that we see and hear from individuals like her that are not anti-trans or not anti-gay or not anti-this, not anti-that, that men just don't belong in the women's locker room, more people are going to start to realize that that is the case.
When is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now, and don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
There you go. There you go. You can't say it more perfectly than that. You have never been a little girl. That man who's claiming to be a woman has never been a little girl. And she may have been revealing something about herself and saying that I've been a victim of sexual assault, or alluding to the fact that she has experienced some form of sexual violence or, sexual inappropriateness. And you cannot speak to that experience. You cannot speak to the feeling of being a woman in a locker room and then having a man there seeing you naked. In some instances, being a girl or a woman in a locker room and seeing a man naked who's identifying as a woman. It is not the space for these individuals. It never has been, and it never will be. And finally, you have a woman who's willing to just scream from the rooftops that this is not okay. And guess what happened to her? She ends up getting her membership revoked. So she is being punished for being the person who's willing to say what needs to be said out loud. She's being punished for speaking up for the other women in that locker room. Because as she said, when she saw that man in the locker room and said, this is not okay, you need to get out of here, what are you doing, sir? The women around her also said they felt uncomfortable. The woman around her also said he should not be in here. But because she is the one who decides to speak up, who decides to say something to the employees working at this gym, who decides to make a video about it, she ends up getting her membership revoked, which means she's being further victimized in this whole situation. Shout out to her. I really want to get her on the show to speak about this whole situation, because it's rare that you see people who are willing to be this brave in the face of, let's be honest, it's lunacy. It's lunacy that we're experiencing right now. How long has the world, been trying to start a conversation about women, about sexual assault, about being a survivor? How long has the left been talking about feminism and patriarchy and standing up for women and hashtag Me Too, hashtag Time's Up, hashtag Believe All Women? But they're quite literally ushering in a future where we will see more and more victims of sexual assault, sexual violence, and sexual harassment with these sorts of policies and with this sort of reality, this sort of thing being implemented. Make it make sense. The math is not mathing. But shout out to Tish for saying and doing something about it. And Gold's Gym, if her membership is revoked for this very reason, you have some explaining to do. I think Gold's Gym has some explaining to do. Now, if there's some other reason for her membership being revoked, if she did something else that violated your policy and guidelines, I would love to, hear about that and have a conversation about that. But for right now, it seems like Gold's Gym is not a comfortable space for women and girls. It's not a company that is looking out for women and girls. So I guess we'll wait to hear back from their headquarters on that. But women and ladies and girls who are listening right now, if you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation like this, please speak up. If you can find it within you to do it, please speak up. If you're a girl, go to a trusted adult. If you are a woman, speak up for yourself and the other women around you. Go to somebody at the gym and make a fuss about it. And even if they're not in your favor, even if they want to revoke your membership like this, just speak louder. Because this should not be the future for women and girls. It cannot be the future for women and girls. It is not sustainable and it is not right. So guys, leave your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. This is insane, but I'm also like so proud of this lady. And we don't even share the same politics, it seems, in a lot of what she's saying. I don't care. This is really, at this point, it just should not be a left versus right issue. This is a protect women issue. So let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out, but do so respectfully. I encourage healthy debate on this channel. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification button to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys, which is every day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.